Are you happy? You free, buddy? Oh yeah.
Well, greetings and salutations, folks. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to ask if anybody's actually watching this. Let me know in chat if the audio is good. It's so funny. Ranger's been passed out in his bed or on his bed for a good part of the day, and of course I start talking and he's immediately trying to sneak up here. Look at him. Yeah. He appeared from nowhere as soon as I started talking. That's so funny. No. Ranger, down. Down. So funny. Okay, come here. Hey there. I've created a monster. I've got a sheet down for him now. Come, get up, up. Okay, stay there now. Yep, he knows. When it's stream time, it's sit on couch time. Okay, what we got? Jim, yes, you can hear me. Okay, that's good. Paul Drake, well, it's a new name. Steve Lambert, yes, audio is good. Thank you, guys. Paul Drake, it's a new name I'm not familiar with. Good evening, welcome. Yeah, so Jim, that's quite hilarious. Green coffee beans. Yeah, so some of you may be watching, wondering what's going on, talking about coffee beans. I received some very delicious coffee beans. And I attempted to grind them with my little grinder. And let's just say these coffee beans were definitely challenging for my little grinder. I'm looking for where it is. I'll show you guys. Yes, somebody was kind enough to send me some coffee beans, and I'd never tried them before, and they look pretty delicious. If you guys can see that. Bodhi leaf. Green, unroasted. And so I received these and was very excited and got my little, I don't know, $20 Cuisinart grinder, and it was struggling to grind these coffee beans. As it turns out, they're green coffee beans, and looks like they may have to be roasted, which I didn't bother doing. But yeah, the little Cuisinart coffee grinder was struggling to grind those beans. They're like little balls of steel, little nuggets of steel, and it took a while to get enough ground to try. And it was very tasty. I enjoyed the coffee, very different, almost like a matcha. Reminded me of a matcha, but a little more green. Anyway, so it turns out that I may have to roast them. Jim, is that correct? I'm sure I can roast them in a pot, right? In a pan or something. We'll figure it out, but it's delicious nonetheless. Droidian, hello from Illinois. USA Patriot, right? Greetings, Droidian. I like that little icon you have over there, your profile icon. Nice. Natal, good evening. Good evening. Nice to see you guys. Jim, or soaked overnight. I'm reading. Lol. Yeah. Okay. We'll attempt the soaking overnight, and we'll give it a go. And then you know, I'll see if I can maybe roast some in a pan too. But man, I like little balls of steel. Yeah, the blade on that Cuisinart was actually getting bound up and stopping. If any of them wedged underneath the blade, it wasn't churning. So, yeah, thanks, Jim. Cast iron pan, but we'll. I use a cast iron pan, okay, but we'll try green now. Well, I mean, I enjoyed it green, but I'll definitely get a roast on them. Maybe even soak them and experiment. I'll figure out what way tastes best, because you sent me like, what, 4 or 5 of them? That was very kind of you, Jim. Thank you. Okay, Droidian, yep, Pepe represents comfy. And yeah, we're going to get comfy tonight, guys, because I think I have about 30 minutes or 32 minutes of video over the last week or so. It's been an interesting week. Hey, Joni. Good evening. Hello. Welcome. Another name I'm familiar with. Yeah, the last week has been, pretty active for me, guys. I didn't really get to do some of the things I wanted to, but nonetheless was active. I'm sorry to report, but a lot of hauling items up and down the mountain again. I managed to get a ride into town, a lift to check mail, and I was very fortunate, guys. There were a couple of you that did send me some items in the mail, and you'll see more about that in the clip. But thanks to your support, I was able to pick up a nice bundle of groceries, so that was good. So you'll hear more about that during the video, guys. But I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for those of you kind of helped me out with being able to pick up some groceries. And yeah, Kevin, hello warrior. Good evening, Kevin. Welcome, man. I was a little concerned when I fired up the stream. It looked a little quiet in chat, but I'm glad everybody seemed to pop up out of nowhere and start chatting. So it's nice to know I'm doing these streams and at least somebody's watching. I'm not too cared about numbers, just good people more than numbers. But I was a little concerned that I'd be talking, just to myself. So thanks for popping in, everyone. Yeah, we've had all kinds of weather this week too. A little bit of everything. Fortunately, this week not too much. Not any wet rain. We have had a bit of snow, some light snow, some flurries, nothing major though. But yeah, it's been quite manageable. Okay, so did I miss any chats here? How's everybody doing? How are you folks doing? How your winter's doing? Kevin. Good conversation is good for all of us. Yeah. Are the hens laying better? Oh, thanks, Joni. The hens were laying good, and then there's a little bit of a lull in egg laying, a few days. But I'm happy to report I did receive some mealworms, and that was a couple days ago, and I've been feeding them mealworms the last couple days. A lot of feedings of worms. And today I actually got 4 eggs out of the hen, so that was nice. It's just touch and go this time of the year. As some of you know, chicken keeping in winter can, be a little rough. Egg production always drops. And especially, for me, I don't have any sort of heating source for my chickens. They're out on their own. Shame, I noticed one of the hens has started to get a little bit of frostbite. And so nothing too serious, but there's no heating lamps for my chickens or anything. But you got to be hardy if you're going to be up here and be a chicken. Even the quail. Everybody's still alive though. Nobody's died. Whispering Vines Studio. Hello, GW and everyone. Hey, Whispering Vines, nice to see you. Thanks for swinging by. Joni, got 5 inches of snow today, but now raining, which means lots of ice in the morning. Yeah, that ice stuff. Rain this time of the year is not good for anybody who lives in the northern regions. For me, it's a little rough living on a mountain. I definitely don't like to see rain because it becomes quite problematic for me just getting around. Hiking up and down the mountain. Everything becomes a little more challenging with ice under the snow. E4 Mafia, hello from Kentucky. Do you treat rangers poor with anything for the snow ice? Not to date, E4 Mafia. Vaseline, I think somebody may have raised the topic of Vaseline, rubbing some Vaseline on his feet. I haven't put anything on. I do have some booties which look pretty much just like balloons, the type of balloon that you blow up. They're rubberized, and I actually haven't put them on him yet, but I have those. I should probably give them a try. They look like something that may not last very long, so I'm keeping them for, you know, an important emergency, or perhaps when we go camping. I do have some trips planned here coming up in a few days. Hopefully we'll get some footage of that. And I'll probably take those booties with him because he'll be overnighting out in the boonies with me. So we'll probably take those booties then, and in case they're necessary. Yeah, I lost 3 or 2 of my batteries for my camera, which prevented me from getting more footage, and it slowed me on the camping trip that I did have planned for full moon, which is now no longer with us. But I had planned on getting out there, but capturing, you know, my adventures out in the snow with 1 battery is not going to work. But the good news is I do have some batteries on the way, so we'll have some batteries and get out here, do a snow camping trip, probably with a hammock. I'm going to take the hammock and a tent for Ranger. So that'll be coming up next year. We'll have some good footage. Freudian. Not allowed to raise chickens here. If my arm was 3 meter long, I could touch my neighbor. Ah, man. Yeah, not allowed to. What are you in some... is it just because you have neighbors nearby, or do you have some rules and regulations that prevent you from having chickens? I know it can be tough in the city. That's clearly not going to work if you're living in an apartment, but yeah, you know, I don't have that problem out here, that's for sure. What else we got going on? Joni, I used the stuff that mushers use on their dogs in the Iditarod. What is that? What are you talking about? What is it? I'm not sure. Is that an actual booty? I did look at some booties online, and they just seemed a little overpriced, and I didn't like what I could find on Amazon. It looked a little cheesy. But I think I found some on another site that weren't on Amazon, and I think they came from somewhere up in Alaska, some custom manufacturer, and they were just definitely not anything I could afford. Joni, let me check the name. Okay. Did you pick them up on Amazon or an independent site? Adordian, yeah, noise. Yeah, well, I don't think if you just have hens, Adordian, hens don't make much noise. Of course, some breeds might be a little louder than others, but hens on their own don't make a lot of noise. Roosters are obviously can be problematic depending on your neighborhood, but you get yourself a good breed of just hens. I mean, I can't imagine anybody hearing your hens, even if a neighbor is close by. All right. Well, I mean, it's hard for me to even believe that there's places out there and that would have rules and regulations not allowing hens. I know they exist, particularly modern cities, all kinds of rules and regulations regarding keeping livestock and small critters. The amount of micromanagement that goes on nowadays with overreach, cities and municipalities trying to direct your life in every single way. That's not anything I want to do, which explains why I'm out here. Right. So while Joni is checking the name out on those booties, I think I'll try and fire up this video, guys. Like I said, I think it's around 32 minutes, and I got to apologize. Let's just say there's a bit of hauling again, guys. The amount of trips I've made up and down this mountain in the last week, let's just say a lot. So there's a bit of that and some maintenance around here. So hopefully you guys don't get too bored with the up and down the mountains. And yeah, I've been taking it easy with the snowmobile with the one shock. You know, I'm not quite as adventurous as I would like to be, but we're definitely going to get out here using the snowmobile. We'll just like old man it up the mountains over here, and you know, fingers crossed, we'll get to where we need to get and have a good camping trip. I'm dying to get out there again and do some camping. Family plan, hauling. Yeah, hauling. Good evening, family plan. I suspect you may know a little bit about hauling. Paul Drake, no quick run to the 7-Eleven. I don't know, do we even have a 7-Eleven? I don't think I have a 7-Eleven within... We don't have one... Do we have one in my town? I don't think so. I think the nearest 7-Eleven might be 2 or 3 hours away. I remember I did live in a town where we didn't have one single franchised business. There was no Subway, no McDonald's, not one single franchised store or eatery. There was one local family-owned, multi-generational supermarket, just a little grocery store. And that was great. I love those kind of towns. And then I think the population at its peak might have been around 600 people, small town. And then somebody came in and bought the gas station and then put in a Subway. And then that same person bought an old derelict motel and opened up a liquor store. And then that same person or family bought the grocery store, the multi-generational grocery store, and turned it into some little franchise national store. Really sad to see the progression of that. There's so many towns nowadays across America. You drive into the little town and it looks exactly the same like the previous town, because what happens, the central business district or the old town grows out and you have the same businesses popping out on the outskirts as you go into those towns. You know, the Nappers and the Burger Kings and the, you know, whatever national, you know, Targets, all the national stores pop up outside the town. And if you do enough driving across this country, after a while it all starts to look the same. You've got to hunt for the old school or the old business district just to get some kind of sense of uniqueness, because all these little towns start to look the same with all the same businesses. And it's very dull. Okay, that's me ranting on about very little. Debbie D, hello from Coos Bay, Oregon. Hey Debbie, welcome. I haven't seen your name before, so yeah, thanks for popping in. Joni, it's called Mush's Secret, made in Canada. Okay, well, I'll look that up. See what they got. Of course, it would be made in Canada. Jordan, 2 McDonald's and 2 Dollar Generals in my town, 25K, sad, really. 25K, yeah, I mean, that's a big town. Yeah, just it all looks like gray goo after a while, folks. It's just, you know, everything's looking the same. Yeah, I actually like, you know, old towns that might be struggling a little bit, you know, maybe with an old brick buildings downtown, you know, a few mom and pop businesses. That's the type of town that I can really get behind. I know this might sound a little extreme, but if I do spend money and I'm in a small town and there's a choice between, you know, the national shop or a mom and pop shop, I always go to the mom and pop shop. I mean, it's been a while since I've, you know, spent any money in, you know, something like a Starbucks. I just refuse to, you know, support those kind of businesses, just because, you know, it's rather give money to, you know, the mom and pop or family operated businesses. That's how I roll. I think we should all do that. Okay, well, thanks for giving me that name, Johnny. I'll definitely look him up. So we'll fire up the video, folks, and hopefully you've got your coffee. I got some green coffee beans in here that I ground up. It took me about 10 minutes to get them ground up, but I'm actually enjoying it. We'll figure out how to roast them or soak them. Yeah. It's 100%. Oh, it's a wax that you put on their paws. Then okay, cool. I'll definitely look into that. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna take a sip of my green unroasted coffee beans. Oh yeah, it's good and very different, very different. And we'll get going here if I can find it. I think I loaded it up. And so if anybody's new to the stream, what I typically do here is I shoot video over the week. I grab little clips of, what it's like living out on a mountain in the boonies with very little during winter. I just grab clips here and there and I put them together in a little video. And that's one of the things we watch during the stream. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing or any comments, or you think what you're seeing is ridiculous, feel free to drop it in the chat. I do actually watch chat, and we can have some conversation. I'm totally okay with constructive criticism, so go ahead. Just make it constructive. All right, so here we go, guys. Thanks for being here this evening. And let's fire up the stream video. And let me know, guys, if the audio is good once the video starts. Thank you. Let's go.
Are you happy? You free, buddy? Oh yeah. Well, greetings, salutations, guys and girls. It's it's me, the off-grid warrior, and Mr. Ranger over there. And beautiful day. It's actually, I don't know, around about 1:30, 2 p.m., somewhere around that time. A little slow start to the day. It's quite chilly last night. Today we're going to take care of a little chore that I've been wanting to do for some time. Of course, since the smokehouse is just built on top of dirt, really, it has the structure has tightened up and shifted over the last couple months, and so the door doesn't work anymore. It doesn't close. It gets caught up against the edge here. And as you guys can see, I attempted to do a little fix already over here. Not very pro, guys, I know. Look at that. Looks like I was drunk or high when I attempted to fix this the first time. I really messed that door up, but that was not the way to fix it, because after cutting the top edge of the door or trimming it down here, it continued to tighten up, and of course the door still doesn't close. So don't do like I did. Sometimes the quick and dirty fix is not the best. So what I'm going to do, I thought I'd take the door off and clean that up and fit the door correctly. But I think what I'll do on second thought is just take this panel off, guys. I will mark where we're at, like so. Put a pencil mark on this, and then I'll take this panel off and trim it down, as opposed to the entire door. So hopefully that's not the quick and dirty fix. I kind of feel that it is, but it's a better quick and
John
dirty.
Diliberto subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. And Ranger's had a little bit of an issue with his rear paw. We've been doing a lot of running, or he's been doing a lot of running alongside the snowmobile on icy ground. And we had the same thing that happened last year when he started to get some paw issues with running on this freezing ground. Of course, Ranger will just keep on running regardless whether his leg's falling off or not. He will just, keep on having a good time, which is problematic. So, anyways, let's get the smokehouse fixed. Well, that was easy enough. Ranger! Oh, where is he? Hey! Hey! Yep. Come on, buddy. Okay. Well, that was like 5 minutes of whistling and shouting, and eventually he came running up. So now we close the gate. Oh, buddy, you see? He just wouldn't run away. He could hang out outside the shack all day long, but, Oh, buddy. Okay, let's get some hardware off here and get a straight line. Yeah, a little chilly out here, guys. The tips of the fingers are definitely a little numb right now. You get a straight line going here, straight-ish. Definitely a little chilly. Okay. Okay, so it works. It closes. I'm not the most beautiful work I've ever done, that's for sure, but it's functional. You don't want a smokehouse to be completely tight anyways. That's the excuse I'm making for my shoddy workmanship. But it's functional. We've got a closing door now, which we can, somewhat latch now. My mismatching hardware. So, okay. That's one chore done. Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's the Off-Grid Warrior. And you guys probably can't hear it, but old doggo Ranger is pretty upset being locked up in the cabin and me disappearing. I can still hear him barking. We had a very short notice of a lift into town today, a ride to town, and well, at the last minute I had to get into gear and take that person up on their offer. So we've got 2 cans of gas actually. The other one is down at the bottom of the mountain, and we'll be filling up some water as well and bringing those back, drinking water. It's just a beautiful day again, guys. Look at this, just beautiful. I've got a little bit of a rush. My ride didn't give me much time for me to get to the meeting spot, so I don't even have my gloves on right now. It is actually pretty cold. I think it's around 20 degrees, 21 degrees when I had a look at the gauge. So gloves are in the backpack, I think. Hope so. It'll be a chilly snowmobile ride. So of course I've got the wrong boots again. The snow boots are a little cumbersome to take into town. So we got our ride 'em cowboy, slide 'em and ride 'em. Anyways, of course we'll be getting to mail. I believe there may be a couple subscribers who have sent some mail, so I'm looking forward to that. Otherwise, better get going. We'll see you guys. Cheers. Well, we made it. The trip into town, let's just say, pretty successful. Everything's running, and we got a sled with some items here. We got drinking water, 5 gallons of gas, and dog food, guys. Now, I really want to thank whoever sent that dog food. I was quite surprised when I got to my mailbox in town, and there were, 4 packages and some letters. I was not expecting any packages, so it was quite a pleasant surprise, folks. But the dog food was in one of those boxes, and there were some mealworms. A fairly large bag of mealworms. The chickens are going to love those. Mealworms and black soldier fly larvae are like the crack cocaine of, chicken snacks. So they're really going to be enjoying that. There was some honey. Somebody had sent some honey and some vitamins. Vitamins, I think they were D. Probably what I desperately need this time of the year. And there's also some bags of the quick meal camping meals, which I like too. So thank you whoever sent those, if it was one person or multiple. I don't know, there were no names on the boxes, so it's hard for me to know who sent them, but thank you so much. I can't thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what to say except wow, thank you. And yeah, there's some mail there too, and thank you to you folks too. I was able to go and get some grocery items, which I wasn't expecting to do. So I did pick up a fat steak, which I'm going to eat tonight. I know that was probably something I shouldn't have got, but I've been craving, a super thick cut of meat. I'm really sharing a lot with you guys right now. So I'm going to gobble that down tonight. I'm hungry right now, so that steak is going to go down well. So and I got a few other items again I wasn't expecting on getting, but thanks to you guys I could. So yeah, right now we're going to do the big haul. I think we'll relay all these 3 items. We'll get him up the mountain and get to Ranger. I'm sure he's going to be excited that I am home. And yeah, I still have a bunch of items still down at the bottom of the valley that we'll haul up tomorrow. I didn't want to do it tonight because I'd be going, while it was still dark, if I headed down and tried to do another couple trips. So right now the hands are freezing. My toes are definitely freezing in these work boots, not winter snow boots. So we're going to get moving here. I'm sure I'll heat up pretty fast once I start carrying items. Well guys, it just dawned on me as I was carrying all my groceries up and everything else that I may have forgotten a big jug of milk that I bought. So the milk is either down at the bottom of the valley, or I left it in somebody else's vehicle who's no longer here. So I'm not sure if I got the milk out or not, but if it is down there, I need to get it back and home tonight, otherwise it's just going to be a block of ice. So we're heading back down the mountain. It is getting dark, and I don't have my headlamp or flashlight either, so like poor planning on all sides, guys. But you know, I haven't had milk for quite some time, and you know, I've just got milk on the mind along with my big steak tonight. So hopefully the milk's down there and not you know, 15 miles away by now. Right on. Well, guys, that was a trip for nothing. I guess I left my gallon of milk in someone's vehicle. It's been some time since I even purchased milk. I was really excited about it, so bummer. At least we'll still be getting home in time for, well, in time before it gets dark. Man, I was super excited heading down that mountain. Had my fingers crossed, hoping that my milk would be down there. It's the little things, guys. Man, had visions of this big fat steak and a glass of milk tonight. The steak's still going to be great though, guys. Yep. I'm losing it. Ay. It's like the never-ending story. Another song that always comes to mind when I'm hauling stuff up here. Seems like my life consists of being human. Pack mule, guys. Okay. Onwards. Well, it's kind of dark, guys. I'm not sure how good this footage is, but we're gonna let the ranger out, and we'll go and get the fuel and water container with him and give him a quick run. It won't be enough, but it'll be better than nothing. And of course, we're going to check the girls, the chickens, see if they got any eggs for me. Hope so. Hello, Mr. Ranger. Hey, buddy. Woo! Okay, he's out. So I want nothing to do with you. I just want my freedom. Ay. Okay. And he's gone. Jeez, it's like, yeah, not to be seen. He's just disappeared. Probably running for the bathroom. Poor guy. Ay. Well, We're definitely way past dusk. Ah, there he is. Hey, buddy. Come here. Oh, yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you missed me? Did ya? Did ya? Anyways, let's get those 2 containers and get inside. Get a nice, well, check chickens first. We don't want eggs freezing overnight. They tend to crack when you let them freeze. So we'll get eggs and then get a fire going. And after the fire, I'm thinking I got a steak waiting to be consumed. Sadly, no milk. But I'll take it, you know. We can't win every day, guys. All right. Cheers. Well, folks, heading down the mountain. I'm going to retrieve some groceries and some other items that are sitting down at the bottom of the valley that I wasn't able to get up yesterday. We're going to make an attempt to do a couple trips to get everything up today. Well, as usual, Ranger's ready to go. You ready to go? You ready to go? Poor guy. Okay, so I think we're sufficiently warmed up. We'll get this little mission underway today. Well, now the fun part starts. I think we'll get all of this up and get it stowed, and then we'll head back down the mountain for another run. Haven't eaten yet, so I think once we get up there we'll grab some chow, and I'll make a decision on whether or not I want Ranger running again, and do it all over. So, good times. What do you think, Ranger? You smell some tasty treats in there, bud? Yeah, there is. Groceries. One of my little techniques I've developed after hauling sleds up on foot is I just look down at my feet and I just put one foot in front of the other, and I don't focus too much about what's up ahead. I try not to glance at what's up ahead. I just watch each step, one in front of the other, and yeah, it makes the whole thing much more enjoyable. Right, Ranger? Ranger agrees. That's my technique and I'm sticking to it. Well, let's go. Yep, it's get this up and make some lunch. I'm pretty hungry right now. No breakfast, so oh boy. So I'm looking forward to some food, get some energy before we do next trip. Woo! Okay. Ranger! Hey! Come here. Well, back down the mountain we go. I decided to let Ranger have another run. he was, let's just say, a little upset when I attempted to close him in the cabin again. So, yeah, nah, there he goes. We'll give him another run. I was planning a couple more runs, but I think we'll just do one more. Yeah, I'm a little exhausted. I'm not gonna lie, I was seriously pondering not heading back down again today, but then I reminded myself sometimes we just have to, you know, pull up our pants, put our big boy pants on, and you know, get it done. So yeah, here's Mr. Ranger. I think we'll have a nice quiet evening with Ranger tonight. He'll be definitely tuckered out after today's activities. Well guys, we're doing a quick check on my my water source. I'm curious what it looks like down here in the creek. Tomorrow we're going to have to do a trip down here. I need to fill up some drinking water for the quail and chickens, and this is just the easiest place for me to do it. Of course, as some of you may know, in those hot summer days, this is where Ranger and I come, and we we dip in the cool creek to cool down. Because right now it's extremely cool. Oh boy, not the best of access to running water. Oh no. It'll be tough getting water out of here. Have to find another little spot. Wow, that's a bummer. Well, let's take a peek a little further down. There's bound to be an easier spot to get some water, I hope. Wow. There's water underneath here. Pretty sure it's flowing. I don't want to get a soggy boot right now. But yeah, it gives me an idea. We might have to do plan B as far as water from the creek for the chickens and quail go. I mean, melting snow's always an option. That's not too difficult, but sometimes it's just easier to pick up, you know, several gallons of water in its liquid form already. It sure is beautiful out here, though. Yep. Home sweet home. Yeah, I know. But off-grid warrior, you have a snowmobile. What's the dealio? Oh guys, there's a few sections here. That's a rock right there. There's rocks all over here and they're literally only an inch under the snow. So I already have a blown shock on the snowmobile. I definitely don't need to be abusing it or getting something stuck in the tracks. So I know it may look like I could get the snowmobile up here, and I probably could in some sections, but it's just too rocky in other areas. I don't need another issue with the snowmobile. Gosh, I hope those chickens are really grateful. Bag of chicken food, and I got a backpack with a huge bag of mealworms. Chickens are going to be pretty stoked, that's for sure. Where is Ranger? Yeah, that dog. Ranger! There he is. Buddy, I need you to stay closer to me, right? He just does not understand that concept. Onwards. Okay, so little pit stop over here. The ranger's got some kind of delicious treat he's been finding. What is this, Ranger? Looks a little furry and frozen. Go get it. There's another part of whatever this delicious critter is. I'm not sure I can identify it. It seems like it is some chunky piece of furriness with a bone-like structure. Mysteries. Mysteries. Ranger definitely likes it. I get it. You ready? Oh yeah. Miserable throw. I know. That's my left hand, guys. Okay, I got an excuse. Okay. Okay, good times. Ladies, do I have a treat for you? I know you're all pretty excited. Look at them, they all come out to say hi. Hi ladies, I've got your, if I can get out of my backpack, everything will be fine. Ladies, we have some deliciousness for you today. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's almost like they know what's about to happen. Oh, delicious treats on the way. Another item somebody sent me, Peak Refuel. I'm definitely going to be using these coming up here in a little camping trip. Thank you. And Ranger, come down here. Come on. If we can get this out, it's quite a tight fit. Holy schmoly, guys. Look at that. There's a massive bag of mealworms. Look at the ladies. You can see. You can see they're in the know. Ranger, out of the way. This is not your moment, buddy. Come on, out of the way. Look at that. Oh yeah, ladies. Oh yeah. Ranger, do you always try and steal the show or what? You girls ready? You want some treats? Let's see if this is an idiot-proof bag or... Stop. Stop. Oh my gosh, ladies. Holy moly. Let's get in there. Look at that. I've never ever had a bag that size. 10 pounds of mealworms. Okay. Ladies, today I might even give you more than one handful. Ranger, you're not part of this action. Sorry, buddy. Oh yeah. Ladies, no. I'm gonna give you more than one handful today because you deserve it. Yeah. Ladies, ready? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at the treats. Here we go. Oh man. Tomorrow, next couple of days, we gotta do a clean up here. We need to clean. Whew. Okay, that's one handful. Let's give them another. They deserve it. Give them some treats there. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, thank you. Whoever sent the bag. The ladies, thank you too. Oh, decisions. What snow do I want to use for my shower this evening? You know, I gotta pick only the best snow for shower time, because only the best water is allowed to touch my fine skin. Clearly I am talking a bunch of garbage. We're just doing one pot today. I still have a half full shower bag inside, so we got enough water. We just need to make the fire now. Well, it's definitely snowing right now. Nothing too serious. Kind of small flakes, but yeah. While we're waiting for the shower water, we'll do a bit of cleaning. The magic ingredient to the shower water is more shower water. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one tonight. We got a good bit of snow shoveling done, coop and the living area. We got that taken care of. We got this shoveled. Of course, there's more snow coming down, but you know, got to stay on top of it. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I did have plans to perhaps put a little bit of work into an online project that I've been working on. But I'm not sure how far I'm going to get once I've had my shower and put food in my mouth. I think I might just be getting a good nap in tonight, guys. Definitely feeling a little, you know, toasty and well worked. Okay. Onwards.
Well, I'm back, I think. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We finally got to the end of me, you know, hauling stuff up the mountain again. Like I said, that seems to be all I do nowadays. Yeah, Joni, raw, what did you say? Oatmeal? Yeah. I bet you the chickens like that. You know, I find chickens do better when they have a variety of food. I wish I had more scraps to give them. I just, when I eat, whatever I cook is consumed by me. I very seldom have scraps. Yeah, but chickens definitely do better with a variety of food, for sure. What else we got here? Did I miss anything? Chris James, good evening, sir. You made it right at the end, sir. You know, you missed it all. You're going to have to hit the rewind button. Thanks for popping in, Chris. Anthony Z's in the house. Evening, sir. Kipster. It would be a really good time to be in the egg selling business. Yeah, there's something going on out there. We have more like egg chicken issues. What is it, bird flu now? I'm out of the loop if there's any egg problems, but I'm not giving up my eggs, guys. When I have extra, it's this guy that gets them right here. What, buddy? I've created the monster now. Every time I talk to the monitor, he knows he can get up here. Joni, wonderful video. Thanks, Joni. You know, I never know. There's just a lot of hauling for me to do this last week, and I know you guys might be getting a little bored with me just always carrying something in these videos. So, thank you, Chris James. I haven't made a live in a number of weeks. That's okay. I appreciate you swinging by, sir. Thank you. Kipster, I heard eggs are selling for something like $8 a dozen. That seems like a lot. I can't tell you the last time I bought eggs. Probably, I don't know, 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. Droidian, I always keep powdered milk for when I'm out. Expensive though. Yeah, Droidian, I had a few cans of powdered milk. I think it was the Nestle brand. Nestle? No, not Nestle. It might have been Nestle, yeah. And when you don't have milk, that stuff tastes pretty good and comes in pretty handy. But compared to the real... What? Ranger? Compared to the real stuff, yeah, it's not that great, but it comes in handy for sure. The problem with me is I found myself at times taking a little spoonful of the powdered milk. It kind of, I don't know, it tastes nice to me sometimes just on a spoon, dry. I may or may not have eaten a lot of my powdered milk that way. I'm just putting that out there, but yeah. Johnny, do you feed the eggshells back to hens? Johnny, no, I don't. I have in the past with my chickens that I had several years ago. I used to crush up the shell and give it to them on occasion, but why don't I do that now? Yeah, I should get back into that, but typically no. Yeah, you got Nestle evaporated milk. Where are we? Sorry, guys. I got to figure out a way to make this text larger. Hate to say it, but I've noticed my eyesight is beginning to change in the recent year or so. Okay. Where are we? Tomahawk, be right back. Finish the chore. Yeah. Chores first, sir. Anthony Z here in PA, 6.39 a dozen. Can't imagine. Is anybody in California? Can't imagine what eggs cost like in California. Family plan. The grocery store has S. What did I miss? Nestle evaporated milk. Family plan have egg shortages. The grocery stores have egg shortages currently. Is that where you guys are, or across the country? I'm not sure. I'm out of the loop, guys. Out of the loop. Chris James, eating powdered milk. Yeah, I do have some weird habits. I do like honey in my milk as well. Talking about honey, guys, I'm not sure who sent the honey to me, but I did receive some honey in the mail, and thank you very much. Nate's raw unfiltered honey. I've never seen this before. I guess it might be an East Coast thing, but whoever sent that to me, if you want to let me know who you are, thank you. So yeah, honey in my milk is a favorite. It's one of the reasons why I got milk, because I saw this honey and I thought, wow, I'm getting milk. Anyways, what else we got? Johnny, you need cheaters. What did I miss? Cheaters? Ranger, stop. Stop. He's a bit of an attention hog, my dog. We spend way too much time together, clearly. Anthony Z, some grocery stores limit 1 dozen per customer. Really? It sounds insane to me. Is this prompted by the whole chicken flu or something? Is there a shortage of hatching hens across the country? What's going on? Sadly, predators got my last 2 laying hens, so I've been buying at the store lately. Gotcha. Those predators. I'm really lucky so far, guys. It's been a while since I've had predator issues, because I probably shouldn't say that. Touch wood. Now I'm going to have an issue, but yeah, I have had bear around. It's been a while since I've had bear on the chicken coop. I don't know, 1.5 years, couple years maybe. But you know, I spent a lot of effort in building the chicken coop like Fort Knox. Don't know if you guys noticed it. It may look a little overbuilt for a chicken coop. It was the project that kind of grew out of control as I was building. I'd imagine just a cute little chicken coop, and it turned into this monstrosity. But a lot of the lumber, well, most 99% of the lumber I used on the chicken coop and the metal for the roof was I didn't pay for it. Somebody was sitting on a large pile of lumber, which for the most part, a lot of it had started to rot and go punky, and they offered it to me, and I salvaged some of the stuff that I could. And the metal too was stuff that had been laying around in the ground, not up here, but it's at somebody else's place, and they offered me the metal. So that project, the chicken coop / quail coop, turned into quite a monstrosity. But I built it that way, reinforced the doors, and the front of the chicken coop, you can see, has fairly large lumber across the front, and that's really for bears. Bears will push down a door fairly easily, so I built it in a way with frames and lintels and footings that the doors couldn't be pushed in very easily, or the hog panels that I have in the front are all reinforced. So that's because of bears. Fortunately, I haven't had any other issues. I've had some coyotes around. I've seen wolves at my fence line. I've told that story. But it's the little sneaky critters that get into chicken coops, like skunks and things, that'll find their way in. So no issues so far. Whispering Vine Studio. Yes, Kips. That's not for me. Weasels got weasels. That's another little critter. I haven't had personal problems with weasels. I don't think we have any up here, but I know folks who've had a lot of problems with weasels. If you're in the right spot and you got chickens and weasels, it's going to be a challenge. Adam S, I get them as well. Kipster, super annoying. Whispering Vine Studio. Yes, Kipster, I get the commercials too. I just skip them. Did I miss something about commercials? Sorry, guys. Whispering Vines, yes, Kipster. Am I the only one seeing commercials while watching your live streams live? I skip them, but it still causes me to miss a little bit. Yeah, Kipster. I've got 3 options for commercials on these streams. One is no commercials, moderate or high commercials, and I have it selected to moderate. I really don't make much or see any revenue from advertising. Maybe like $5 a month from streams, but it's a $5 a month I don't typically have, or I can't make. So I apologize if the ads are too much, guys. It's either moderate or I turn them off. But yeah, if I can make $5 off ads, I just kind of got to do it, guys. Unfortunately, what Ranger? So just skip them, guys. If you're getting ads and they're annoying, skip them. That's what I do. I never watch advertisements. Skip them. Johnny, yes, Kipster, YouTube has started this on some lives. Grr. I think I can turn them off. I think one of the options is turn them off, guys. But as some of you know, that I am unemployed, and what, Ranger? Stop. So hopefully you can understand that. I'm definitely not making a killing, I can tell you that. $5 a month. What? Can you stop, please? I'm extremely busy. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Anthony's 28% of laying hens were destroyed due to bird flu. Oh my gosh. Did not know that. No commercials here. I have an ad blocker on Firefox browser. Good one, Chris. Crap. I hope my ad blocker doesn't interfere with the revenue. Chris, don't worry about it. Please, guys, skip the ads, block them. That's what I do. I absolutely detest advertisements, and it's not going to hurt my feelings. The $5 or so I make a month on streaming ads are, Yeah. Joni, been 3 commercials since I got on tonight. Wow. Jim, had opossums getting in the chicken's coop and eating the eggs this fall. Yeah. It can be problematic at times, when your livestock starts to go. I had an issue many years ago with a skunk, and it took me several weeks to get the skunk. I trapped the skunk in a live bait trap with an egg. Yeah, I put an egg in one of those live bait traps where they walk in and they step on a plate and it shuts the door. And you don't want to know what it took me to get rid of that skunk, because the skunk was alive in the trap. I didn't think that one through very well. But anyways, keep the commercial so you can make some money. Thanks for whispering vines. Yeah, like I say, it's really I'm not making a killing here, guys. Honestly, I've had more support from actual subscribers, people watching the stream that have helped me out. I've had more support that way than ads in ad revenue from YouTube. So I just want to thank you guys who've helped out. You know who you are, and I was actually able to do all that hauling that you saw me hauling up the mountain, the groceries. The only reason why I was able to get those groceries was because of the support from some of you guys. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Kevin only saw one tonight. Commercials don't bother me. Gotcha. Chris James, Jim, it's tough to protect from the small critters. I thought I was good and well secure, but the weasels beat me. Adam S. Jordan. We had the same thing in Oz about 1 year ago. Joni, just put a blanket over trap and the skunk won't spray. Ask me how I know. Yeah, well, Joni, I've actually told the story before, but maybe some of you guys haven't heard it, so I apologize if you already heard this one. But I trapped the skunk with an egg in the live bait trap, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it was spraying, and I got a plastic garbage bag over the trap, and I promptly picked it up with the trash bag over it, and I carried it up away from the cabin and up the driveway, and then I thought, well, I'll do the humane thing. I know, don't laugh, guys, all right? Try not to laugh. But I thought, let me do the humane thing, and I will take the skunk, I'll put it in the back of my pickup truck and drive it further away and release it. And then, of course, by the time I walked down the driveway, I realized, how ridiculous that idea was. So I came back with my 22 and dispatched the skunk in the live bait trap. I then promptly got rid of the skunk. But that same day, I went into town and I had to do a couple chores in town. And I didn't realize at the time, but I'd been sprayed and obviously had quite a bit of the skunk scent on me. And my last stop in town, after I'd already been to the store and I think I had to go to the pharmacy, I stopped at the local outfitters. I was picking up a fishing license. And the young girl behind the counter was doing the typing, putting my info in the computer so I could get a license. And she looked a little kind of perturbed, or something was wrong. And it dawned on me, I wonder if I still have the skunk's scent on me. So I looked at her and I said, just by any chance, can you smell anything? And she said, oh my gosh, I didn't want to say anything, but sir, you smell. There's an odor of skunk on you. So I'd been walking around town all afternoon, smelling like a skunk, but only one person was brave enough to tell me that I stunk. So good times. It's that weird guy coming off the mountain, the stinky old guy, smelling like a skunk. Anyways, that's my skunk story. So yeah, pointless trying to save a skunk in a live bait trap. Right. Okay. What else we got? Any more skunk stories, folks? Yeah, chickens. I had a bear go through my chicken coop as well. This is a few years ago. Not this chicken coop, not up here, but I had a bear go in the front and exit out the back of the chicken coop. And when I got back that afternoon, let's just say there's a lot of carcasses and chicken feathers everywhere. I think out of 22 birds, I ended up with 3 in the end after a few attacks from various critters. Of course, I used to let my birds free range. I'm a big proponent of free ranging if you can, but out here, there's no free ranging my birds. They're not going to last at all. I have a lot of eagles. I've mentioned this before in past streams. I'm like an eagle alley. The amount of bald eagles we have around here, I mean, I see them all the time. Chickens are not going to last long. Not just eagles, but you know, other hawks and every other air predator is out here. Not to mention what's on the ground. So chickens are going to last 5 seconds if I let them free range. See, Joni, that's the problem. When you start saying commercial, that's when the commercials start. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that nowadays you can be talking to somebody in a room and all of a sudden you'll start getting advertisements on your phone about that topic you were perhaps talking to somebody about. It's a lot of weird things listening to you out there nowadays that then sell your info in like 5-6 seconds and you get the appropriate ads. It's bizarre. I'm gonna let the doggo out, folks. Hang on. Come on, Ranger. You want to go outside? Yeah, a few months ago, I was talking to somebody on a voice call using my cell phone provider. I think it was Verizon, and I was having a voice conversation about truck repairs. I had an issue with a vehicle, and I was talking to this person verbally about, you know, finding a garage or, you know, where I could take my truck. And lo and behold, about half an hour later, I got an advertisement on some app. It might have been Instagram or something like that, non-related to my voice call. But for some reason, I got an advertisement for a local garage, a dealership that offered, you know, vehicle service and repair. And I can tell you that I'd never received or seen any kind of advertising anywhere on my phone about repairing vehicles. So I found a little odd that I can have a voice conversation with somebody on a cell phone carrier and then start getting advertisements on that topic on other apps. It's called me old-fashioned, but I find that a little disturbing. It's not like I have anything to hide. You know, that's the common one. Well, I don't have anything to hide, so I don't care. But yeah, I find it quite unacceptable. The few apps that I have on my phone, I turn off all notifications, and I make sure that if I can, do settings, prevent it from looking at GPS coordinates, prevent it from phone access or data access. It's amazing, you know, you install an app and you'll find that it wants to do all sorts of things that it's not even being installed for. So, yeah, that's my little rant on that. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Anyways, where are we on conversation here? Droidian, I hear that if you scream like a little girl and run, it scares the bears. Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't advise that. True. They are listening. Yeah. Droidian, Echo Dot is NSA, CIA, probably. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to get started down on this topic, guys, but we have literally become. I got to get Ranger. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, we've literally just become resources to be mined. You know, gold used to be, you know, physical gold was what everybody wanted. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it's really about data. Data is the new gold. So he who has the data, holds your data, is the king. More so than holding gold. It's all about data. So we're all just little points that can be mined for data. There is nothing that's for free. If something's for free, you are the product. So yeah, the VPN can help, but it's expensive. Are you talking about hardware VPN? I do run a VPN, software VPN. Kipster, you need cheap, street legal emergency transportation, something fuel efficient, off-road capable, and able to haul cargo. A Honda CT90 or CT110 fits the bill. High and low range, semi-auto, trans. Is that, pardon me, Kipster, is that you're talking about the motorbike? Did you find the camera charger? No, Adam S. But I do have batteries come on the way, which I can charge in the camera. The battery charger was neat because you could just slot the batteries in and charge all the batteries one time. But I have 2 batteries on the way for the camera, and I'll just have to charge them in the camera, you know, with a USB-C cord. So, yeah. Where are we? Adam S. Did you find the camera charger? Gotcha. Kipster, 1975. You can't legally ride a 4-wheeler on public roadways, can you? Oh, I think some towns I've actually been in Idaho. These are small towns. Quite often allow folks to drive these recreational ATVs. Is it Pinehurst? Maybe Kellogg, Idaho. I've seen local ordinances, city ordinances that actually allow quads and ATV vehicles to be driven. I mean, I doubt if you're in a large city in Washington or New York, I mean, everything's illegal. I mean, you can barely pass gas without getting fined. So, but depending on where you live, there are some places that allow that, small towns. Juice Master, hi folks, just got your what's up, Off-Grid Warrior. Juice Master, welcome, sir. Yeah, you missed the stream, the video, but you know, you can always watch it again. Welcome, thanks for coming. Chris James, Kipster, in many places you can indeed 4-wheeler on roads. Okay, you just covered that. Jordan Andrew Camerata up in New York made his 4-wheeler street legal. I'm not sure who that is, but yep. In my area, and I believe you can, right? Whispering Vine Studio, yes, we ride quads and off-road vehicles here. Yep. These are the freedom centers of the country, guys. So sorry if you live in places like LA and New York City where, you know, fun is forbidden. Kipster, what's the reason why you don't ride your 4-wheeler into town? Oh, Kipster, my 4-wheeler is like a 240 or 250 cc. It's 2-wheel drive. It's not actually a quad in the sense it's not 4-wheel. And if you've seen my I don't know if I'll ever make it into town on my quad. I wouldn't want to stress it that way. 30 miles on my tiny little quad. I don't know. I'm going to have a little trailer of gasoline as well. So yeah, my little quad Kipster is just a little guy meant to stay close to the shack. Do small little chores around the shack. There's no ways I'm getting too far in it, but if I could afford it, guys, and I might try and if I get some work in this upcoming season, I might try and find a motorcycle, like an old, maybe like a 150 or 250, just to get around the woods. I kind of like the idea of having a little trial bike, just a little scrambler, is what I used to call them growing up, just to get around the woods and do some adventures where the quad can't really get. I have a lot of deer trails and thin narrow paths through the woods. And I'd love to just beat around on a just an old beater of a bike. It's not a priority, but if I can make some money this season, I might look at that. I don't know. It just depends. Whispering Vine Studio. Okay, we're there. What's the reason why you don't ride your four-wheel into town? Okay, I think I just covered that. What, Ranger? No. Stop. Ew. Okay, so what else? We got any other topics you want to cover or questions? I don't know if you guys can hear Ranger is. I know he's a weirdo. He genuinely does not like me giving my attention anywhere other than him. A dirt bike would be fun around there. Yeah, it would. Adam S, go to run. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. See you next weekend. Hey, Adam, appreciate it, mate. You have a good one, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers. Yeah. Well, we still have a few folks. I'm going to put a link in chat now. I'm pasting it in now. If anybody is able to support what I'm doing here or in a position to help out, please feel free to use the link. You guys can see Ranger is being very weird. What, Ranger? Is there a problem? Do you need something? Are you not getting enough attention? Oh, man. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, guys, I put a link in chat there. If anybody's able to help out, I'd appreciate it. Another big one coming up for me here is the Starlink payment. That's going to come up within like 5 days here, and it might be a little challenging to do it. So if anybody else can help me out with that link, please consider. Okay, we got the shilling out of the way. Where are we? Oh, Johnny, did I say? Well, I got a couple other channels to watch before I go. Good night. See you. Hey, Johnny, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for the chat. Have a good one. Are you cheating on me with other channels? Just kidding. See you next week. Kipster, do you trap rodents or poison them, or how do you deal with rodent problem? The only time I really have a quote-unquote rodent problem would be, spring. The mice tend to set up shop, and some of you may have noticed underneath the cabin, I'm just sitting on piers, and mice tend to like that area. It's nice and quiet, and not a lot of activity going on there, but all kinds of nooks and crannies. So I haven't had any mice or issues inside, but I do bait the mice in several ways. I have a poison that is in a small trap that the poison can't come out. They go out and eat it, because I have Ranger. He sniffs and samples everything. And then sometimes I do have a few live bait traps, the old school type. And I put a little bit of peanut butter on those. So that, yeah, the mice thing gets a little active here. in spring. I have had a stop. Come on, buddy. Come on, stop. I have had yeah. What else did I have? Forgetting the name right now. What's that big rat? The name eludes me. Pack rat. That's. I was having a moment there, guys. Pack rats. I've had one, and that was an issue. But I eventually, again, I had a humane moment where once I trapped the pack rat in a live trap, I hauled it 8 miles up the mountain and set it free. Because, I'm such a kind soul. And it's never come back. Hopefully it won't. Jordan, don't fall for that. Did I miss something? Don't fall for what? Family plan. We caught 5 mice in our bucket traps in the last week. Are you talking about like homemade bucket types? Bucket with water in it and entice the mice into the bucket? That's something you made, or did you buy something like that? Juice Master, the big rat. I was going to say it starts with a J, but lol. Yes, Juice Master, I understand what you're putting down. Correct. Yes. Oh boy. Okay, where are we? You threw me off there. Got to keep the YouTube chat clean, boys. Whispering Vine Studio. I've done the homemade buckets traps. Works well. Yeah, Whispering Vines. What was your little system there? I've seen several where you balance a rod across the bucket with some peanut butter on a can which swivels on the rod. So the mice get up the bucket, they climb across the rod, and as soon as they step onto the Coke can, which is just on a pivot, it pivots around the pole you have on the bucket. As soon as they step on that, they fall off. It's kind of an old school trap. A good way to catch lots of mice if you're having a mega mice, because you can get more than one in the bucket. Gordy and the puppy will give the fake cry. Don't fall for that. Oh, yeah, Droidian. I like to think of myself as a tough guy, but my dog has definitely got the better of me. I mean, I don't think I've trained my dog. I think he's trained me. Quick chore, a disaster. What happened, Tomahawk? Talking about disasters, guys. Just before I started the stream this evening, I started a fire in the wood stove, and I'd got it going, and then it went out. Well, I didn't get it going in that case, but I'd started it. It didn't fire up, and so I went back into the stove, and I rearranged things, and I was kind of fiddling around with the lighter, trying to get something lit in there, and for some reason. Well, I'll get to this. Anyways, I did what I had to do to restart the fire, and I was back here trying to set up the stream, and the next minute I heard this muffled boom, and as I looked over, Ranger jumped up, and I saw this like well, I don't know how to describe it, a flash of fire and smoke burst out of the oven door. The stove door wasn't closed. It was just hanging open a little bit so I can get maximum air in there. And there was this boom, and I saw the door was kind of opened, and this plume of smoke and fire came out of the wood stove. Of course, Ranger jumped up and was barking at the stove. And long story short, after getting in there, cracking all open the windows because there's a lot of smoke in here, somehow I left the lighter when I was fiddling in there. I left the lighter in the stove, in the wood stove, in the box. So the lighter got heated up and then exploded, forcing the door open. Again, the door wasn't latched, but it pushed the door open, and and a fireball came out. So for a few seconds there, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be fighting a burning cabin or a chimney fire of some weird chimney fire had taken off. So a little bit of a scare. Where are we? I use 1-in-1 cake batter and baking soda for mice in my garage. Seems to work. Ah, interesting. I haven't heard that one. Whispering Vine Studio, 5-gallon bucket with sunflower seeds floating in water. A board leading up to it with peanut butter. Interesting. I've never heard of the sunflower seeds part of that. That's interesting. Huh. Tomahawk, filling my K1 heater and the wick tore and unable to fix it. Had to do a total replacement. Yeah. Tomahawk, I've had a heater that uses kerosene, and sometimes those wick replacements can be a bit of a finicky schlep. I hear you. Whispering Vines, without the seeds keeping them busy, they sometimes crawl out. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Nanya Business. Hello, Warrior. Been about a year since speaking to you. Have you been getting any letters in the mail? I wrote you a cursive note a while back. Okay, Nanya, I vaguely recall your name, and I did receive a letter in cursive. I'm sorry, I'm going back. I did get a handful of letters. This was last winter, perhaps. And I did get a letter. I apologize. I didn't reply to all the letters, but I believe I did. I remember reading a letter in cursive. It was impressive. You know, I grew up, we were all taught and we wrote cursive, and like anything, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I do vaguely recall that. Now, I have all those letters in a box. So Nanya, I'm sure I did receive it. Yeah, thank you. Do you have fire extinguishers, Tomahawk? Yes, I do. And when that happened, the first thing I did was grab my. I have it sitting around the stove. I learned that the hard way. Of course, I put a little blanket down here for Ranger so his hair doesn't get all over the place, and he's got to lay everywhere except on the blanket. Yes, on the fire extinguisher, and it's a small one. I feel like I need to get a bigger one, but you know, it's just, actually I should get a bigger one. That should be on a priority. Smoke detectors. No, Tomahawk. Smoke detectors are for losers. I don't need that around here. Tomahawk, you're pointing out all the important stuff that I've neglected to include in the cabin construction. I should have a smoke detector, and I don't. So I'm a bad boy. I know. Family plan. Off-grid senior citizen moment. Hey, family plan, please don't, start, something here that could turn into a nickname. All right. I don't want to be called off-grid senior citizen. Thank you. Hopefully you haven't started something. Yeah. Yeah, I've never left a lighter in a wood stove before, guys. It's the first time for everything. Yeah. There was a time in my life where I was quite happy when things went boom, but nowadays not so much. Juice Master Ranger is your smoke detector. I hope so. I hope so. There's a pain in the butt detector right now. Kipster 1975, where are you? Where are you on your mechanic work on your vehicle? Now, Kipster, by the way, I think I may have got an email recently from you in the last couple of days. I actually checked the emails for the first time this evening. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm horrible with checking emails. I check them very rarely. And, I have everything, any app or email, anything I have on my phone, I set notifications to off. Quite frankly, even my cell phone, like the ringer, I have set to silent. And no notifications. So as you know, I don't always have internet up here. So every now and again, I get this sense that I need to check email, and I did tonight, and I saw some emails. Was it emails, or man, I'm having a blonde moment now, or was it in chat? Maybe you left some comments. I apologize, Kipser, but yes, I've got to reply to some things there. Getting back to, oh, sorry guys, I went off on a little thing there about notifications and turning everything off and silencing your phone, but where am I in the vehicles? So pickup truck, I've kind of given up on right now, guys, because I just can't. There's no money to throw at the pickup. I've checked the things that I can. I've already spent money on the starter motor and plugs, and looked at the fuel pump, drained the fuel pump, the filter. The only thing that I can move on to next to look at would be the forget now, the rotary spark, whatever that little module is. I think that's the next logical look at for me, but I'll check your messages there. I do recall now there was something from you with some suggestions, and I'll take a closer look at that. I apologize, Kipster. So that's the pickup truck right now. I've just paused it. The other vehicle that I have, the Astro van, it appears that I have a leak on the steering fluid pump, and the next thing I have to do when I get a nice warmish day here, I'm going to go down, crawl up in there and see if it's a cracked hose or something that I could possibly replace. That's where I'm on the vehicles now. No running vehicles. Or the Astrovan runs, but I'm not driving it anywhere with leaking power steering fluid. So I think it's power steering fluid because it's under where the steering pump is, and I discovered that the power steering fluid reservoir was dry. So that's the next step, guys. It's really the funds issue for me. You know, I'd probably be a little more proactive with looking for issues and digging and tearing things apart if I knew I could just then go get the part and replace it. But there's just no funds to replace anything with right now. So on that note, it looks like I may have some work at the end of March. It's no guarantee, but that's the only next time it looks like I might be able to get some income here. So we're fingers crossed for that. Yeah. Okay, where were we? Jordan, laughing at family plan. Yeah. I'm going to have to ban anybody who calls me off-grid senior citizen. Instant banning. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I don't think I've ever banned anyone ever. You'd have to be a real schmuck to be banned. Of course, now it's going to happen, but... Tomahawk, I will send you another card to help with a fire extinguisher in 2 weeks' time. Tomahawk, mate, you don't have to do that. I can fight fire with my hands. No. Yeah, any assistance you guys can give, I appreciate. Thank you, man. Natal family plan. I like that joke, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Kipster 1975. Okay, I'll let you guys on something that just popped into my mind. Kind of silly. I don't know if all guys go through this, but about 5-6 years ago, maybe, yeah, about 5-6 years ago, I'd started to get some gray in my hair. There's a little bit of gray there, and I don't know what possessed me. I probably shouldn't tell this story. It's a little embarrassing, but nah. I've done way worse things. For some reason, I was in a store and I walked past the shelf with men's hair care products, and there was some hair dye, men's get rid of your gray hair, and never done anything like that, and I literally had 2 streaks of gray in my hair, and I thought, maybe maybe it's time for me to, do that. And so, anyways, I bought it and dyed my hair, and I looked pretty weird. Yeah, it was very strange. I don't know how you ladies do it. I guess it's something you have to do and keep up. But I had instant regret after my hair dried, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, man, I look like a weirdo. And that was the first and last time I ever tried to hide any gray. And I guess some of us may do that. Some guys do it weekly, but once was enough for me. Wow, I don't know how we got to that from off-grid senior citizen. Thank you, family plan. None your business. Had serious vehicle rodent problem. Solution: parked vehicle about 60 yards away in different area. 1 year later, so far so good. Yeah, I mean, it's my pickup truck. I do get little critters that get into the pickup truck. I've had some issues where they've managed to get into the cab and build a nest in the back seat, under the back seat, which I didn't notice till there was a problem. Gotta get the dog out. Come on, Ranger. Yeah, a nest of mice, a family that then became a family of multiple mice. It took me a while to trap them all. At the time, I was leaving little bits of peanut butter every night to get them out. It took a while for me to get rid of the entire family. Yeah, Tomahawk card is still coming, lol. Thank you, Tomahawk. Jordan, no comments. Oh, what? Jordan, what do you mean no comment on my hair dye story? Hey, guys, let's just keep that between you and I, right? Let's not make that public. All right, let's not put that story out anywhere on the internet where people will see it, forever. Okay, it's between, me and you guys. Yep. Hanging on to your youth. I had a little discussion with that in one of the clips, which I ended up not including in this latest video. There's a lot that I typically say. Well, I won't say a lot. Occasionally I say some stuff, and then in editing I go, no, you sound like a moron. Delete. Don't include that. But I had a little bit of a discussion on one of those hauling trips where I was hauling the gas and water up the mountain. It seems like there's been this uptick in young folks putting these giant cow rings in their noses. And yeah, I don't care. Call me old-fashioned. It's one thing seeing young kids or young women, I know I was young once too, you go through your, adopt the latest fad thing, you get on these little moments in time where you adopt some new thing everybody's doing. But this nose ring thing just seems a little odd to me. The amount of times I bump into young folks where maybe they're at the checkout counter or at a coffee place and you present with somebody with this big ring in their nose. It's literally, I feel like I got to stare at their nose. It's just so weird. I get fixated on, what's going on there. And it's one thing with young people, but when I start seeing women in their, 40s plus starting to put these giant car rings in their nose, I think when you hit a certain age, maybe you can consider other things. Just a little weird. So, yeah. We're really covering the topics again here tonight, folks. I'm not sure. How did we get on that? Oh, yeah, the off-grid senior citizen. Thanks, family plan. Whispering Vine Studio, I think gray hair is nice. Yeah, gray hair is all about, let's call them wisdom locks. Yeah, when the grays start peeking out, it means maybe you've had a little bit of life experience. Oh boy. Oh yeah, where are we? Juice. Kipster, if mice chewed through a wire, it might not cost anything to fix. Yeah, Kipster, maybe it's just that one little wire sitting there that's, unhooked or chewed through. It could quite be. I mean, I've looked at every wire that I can identify as a wire and sort of felt each wire. Look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not the greatest mechanic, so I approach a lot of these things from like a dumb guy way. It's just like, is it connected or is it not connected? Most of the wires that I've traced and looked at, I'm not sure what they're doing, but I've checked for seating and that. So yeah, I've said it before. Mechanical, auto mechanical, and electrical are it's my weak game, guys. There are other things I'm good at, but those two are not them. I've done the basics, replace pumps and alternators and things like that, but I'm not that great with troubleshooting. Tomahawk, same goes for tattoos on women. Yeah. Oof. I mean, not ideal. I mean, I see. I'm not sure if these are things I want to cover on the stream. Might get a lot of angry folks. No, we do things when we're young, that may leave scars but yeah. Heavily tattooed women, especially, again, if they're kind of getting up, getting older, 40s plus, and are still tattooing themselves, it's not ideal. But each to their own. I'm just going to put it out there, each to their own. Just don't force me to do your thing, all right? Okay. None your business. Write warrior letter. Send regular mail. Better yet, try writing in cursive. Dare you to try. There's just so many things that used to be normal. I mean, I don't know about Gen Xers or the boomers. Do they even teach cursive at school anymore? Did they stop at some point in the US? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some. I was in an industry in the last 10 years, let's just say, where I got to meet a lot of young kids coming out of high school, and it was a little depressing, guys. Basic math seemed to be non-existent. Writing skills, just critical thinking skills were. I mean, these are kids who had graduated from a public high school, and they were definitely lacking in ability to just hold a conversation. I will say though, hang on, I'm gonna let Doggo in. I will say though that I have met kids who have been homeschooled and that are absolutely brilliant. I can think of at least 3 different examples that kids I've personally interacted with and know their kids that have been homeschooled, and they're brilliant kids. Just can hold an adult conversation at high levels, discuss various topics. So I don't know where I'm going with this conversation. Cursive, that's what got me started on this. Cursive, it's a good skill. I mean, I used to write everything in cursive. I probably will struggle now a little bit. I should find your letter, None Your Business, and None Your Business. Now it's coming back to me. Yeah, okay, I think I remember that now specifically. Okay, where are we? Starting to squint at the letters here, guys, at the sentences. Kevin, Warrior, I'm signing off. Been a long day. Thanks for the live stream tonight. See you next stream. Kevin, thank you, sir. I will see you next week. If all goes well. Appreciate it, mate. Whispering Vine Studio. Good night, Kevin. Tomahawk. Good night to you, Kevin. Kevin, night. No. Got you there, Tomahawk. They stopped cursive when my son was in 5th grade. So 2010 to 2012. Okay. Tomahawk, at least at his school. None your business. Basic math was replaced by ballpark estimates back in 2000s. You kidding me? Ballpark estimates. Yeah. I mean, I only sound like an old fart, but we were never allowed calculators at school. If we were in a math class, there were no there were no calculators. No, not because they didn't exist or invented yet, guys. But yeah, I mean, using a calculator for math would be cheating. What would be the point of learning math if you have a calculator? Now, of course, the higher sciences, I can see using calculators. I'm not against calculators, but math and using a calculator in an exam at school was kind of unheard of. Jason D just joined. Any plans for spring? Hey, Jason. Greetings, sir. Evening. Any plans for spring? Spring. Well, I'm really hoping that I potentially can get some work here and there. A little bit of income would be nice. So it looks like I may have something lined up. It's not set in stone. So there might be some working coming up in spring. But on a personal level up here, I would really like to perhaps extend or improve the greenhouse, my hoop house. I need to figure out a better way to, or a more efficient way to grow more. I would like to improve my water issue up here, or catching water. If I can somehow get enough income to get a larger water tank, I'd like to improve the whole water catchment issue up here, so I have more water, so I can grow more. That's probably going to be a bit of a push up here. Yeah, that's probably the two priorities in spring: more water catching, more growing of food, improved greenhouse, and gainful employment. That's going to be a juggle to. When I get gainful employment, it usually means a lot of the personal projects get slowed down. But even though I live pretty slim up here and have very little output financially requirements, it's not like I carry a lot of bills and debt. But cash is still required, guys, unfortunately. Jason D, okay, I'll answer that one. Juice Master, you should build a sauna. Oh yeah. Listen, there's so many things I'd like to do. A sauna would be great. Maybe even like a sweat lodge type for winter. Something, something tent like. I'm thinking Native American Indian sweat lodge, some kind of structure. And I might go with like an all natural thing, just using branches. We'll see. That's something I'd like to do. I've been thinking about it for years. None your business. Math is an exact science. Ballpark estimates is best guess. So wrong answer. Need to know how to solve equations longhand. Back to basic. I mean, none your business. Do you think that's even possible? I think kids nowadays, I'm sounding like an old fart. I'm sorry, but I think a lot of kids are focused on becoming a sports person. They actually see that as a legitimate way to make money, that they're going to, become some kind of NFL star. Or a little more worrying is that, the push now is to be a social media influencer. And, I see people can and do make money on that. But when kids or generations start aspiring to these non-academic pursuits, I don't know what's going to happen. Clearly there are some kids that are still motivated to follow the sciences, and that's a good thing. But I think those numbers of kids are dwindling. Now, I'm specifically talking about the States. I think in many other countries they might be suffering with similar things. It may not just be at the point that we are here in the States with it. I watched a very interesting documentary on Chinese high schools. These aren't schools, not university or college, but actual high schools. I watched a documentary where they follow and look at large city schools, high schools in China, and it was quite mind-boggling what I saw. I mean, very high-tech, advanced labs, computer sciences, labs where they had, kids building robots with circuit boards, microchips, high school kids building writing program at high school, massive labs, really just pushing the sciences and sports. I just don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not really in the US high school loop, but I don't know if you're going to see many high schools in this country with kids building, computers, programming, working with robotics. But I think even kids in these other countries are still being affected with social media and so on. And none your business. It is us to mentor and encourage our younger generation. Yeah, well, clearly, I mean, I always feel the responsibility is the parents' responsibility. This offshoring your kids' education to people you don't know, and government institutions are less than ideal. I mean, we're seeing the fruits of it. I noticed very early. I moved to the States in my early 20s. That whenever something went wrong, people were very quick to blame the schools or video games, or I very seldom saw people looking, well, what were the parents doing? There always seemed someone else to blame, but the buck starts with the parents. Then again, you have a generation of parents now that were largely also grew up on video games. The boomers are kind of on their way out. And then you have Gen X. Gen X grew up a lot with, playing with computers. And then, what else does the parent pass on to the kids? So, I think it's quite a complicated topic. But yeah, but the buck starts with the parents. Don't be blaming schools and that. I mean, if you have a problem with the school or the education system, and you're serious about it, as a parent, you're going to make a plan to do something else with your kid. I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree. Okay, sauna, Jason D. Yeah, we went from sauna to a heavy topic. Math, yep. It is up to us to mentor. Yep, Tomahawk. My son was in the robotics club at his high school. Nice, good. Whispering Vine Studio, tech is changing so many things now. It's hard for us to know what the younger generation will do for jobs. I want to say more on that, Whispering Vines. Tomahawk, so yes, there are high schools teaching robotics here in America. Okay, good to hear. Droidian, grandpa here is forced to give outdoor things to my grandkids. Soccer ball, basketball, tent, pickleball, bushcraft items and such. Just before I read on here, guys, back to Whispering Vine Studio. Tech is changing so many things now. Yeah, it really is. It's hard. I don't want to sound like I'm stuck in old ways. Clearly, I'm doing something here that is fairly, reliant on modern technology. I mean, I'm this old fart on a mountain, streaming. I mean, I'm not against tech, but it is interesting to ponder what's going to happen in the future. I know the big topic now, and it's been around for 5-6 years now, been developing. The whole AI thing is something I've looked at and been kind of experimenting with. I mean, yes, there are other things I do besides haul things up and down a mountain, but the whole AI thing is really interesting because it wasn't so long ago people were saying, you better learn how to code. if you want to exist in the future, you better learn how to code. I don't know if you guys remember that a few years ago. And the sad thing is now, even the act of coding is being replaced by AI. You know, old school coders and programmers that we just sat down and we typed away. Guys, hear that? Typed away. Writing code is very quickly coming to an end. Learning to code is not a thing anymore. It's the AI is starting to write code. And, you know, one of the interesting things happening now is there's this new kind of career taking place here where you're no longer coders. We have prompt engineers. You start seeing more of this, people claiming to be prompt engineer. And what a prompt engineer is somebody who just prompts the AI with the correct questions, prompting the AI to do what, you know, the person wants to do. So that's called a prompt engineer. When you ask AI questions or get it to write programs for you, or solve things you want to know, it's called you're called a prompt engineer. So, you know, code is being written by AI. I can tell you, we've already seen the movement of, you know, graphics, you know, fake imagery, photographs that look near realistic, created by AI. Illustrators, the old job of illustrating, I don't know how you make money anymore as an illustrator, because we have AI now that can create images. You just tell it what picture you want. You prompt the AI as to what you want to see, and it serves you up that imagery, that illustration. And so writing as well. Writing, I don't know what happens in the future. You don't need writers anymore. You just prompt the AI what you want to discuss, what you want it to write for you. So it's a very interesting time. I can tell you that there's a lot of industries that are already starting to disappear. People, illustrators, writers, coders. It's AI's doing that. So I think the safest thing to be now, guys, is, you know, old school, you know, be a plumber or an electrician. We haven't quite yet figured out how AI is going to like unblock your toilet. So you guys are safe. If I had a kid right now, I'd be saying, get into the trades. Well, it's always been the case. It's a good place to be. But right now, if you're a techie guy, anybody who sits at a computer and does stuff, I think your job's going away. Okay, wow, I went on there, guys. Let me catch up with chat, see what I missed. I'm going to squint here. I need to figure out how to enlarge this text. No jokes about off-grid senior citizen, all right? Well, where am I? So yes, there are high schools teaching robotics. Grandpa here is forced to, yeah, got that one. Kipster, I'm more concerned with the morals or the lack thereof. Oh man, you're going to get me going on another topic now. I have to leave this for another time. Of the educators. We regularly see news headlines of teacher being sexually involved with kids. This is completely unacceptable. Yeah, Kipster, I mean, no kidding. I mean, what adult would agree with that? I mean, we've had some insanity going on here, and again, I don't know if this is the right venue for my thoughts, but the problem, Kipster, is that you know, it might go one way for 4 years or 8 years, and then it's going to swing the other way for 4 or 8 years. It's just this constant. This team has the ball. Then that team has the ball. Then this team has the ball. That team has the ball. So, and the extremities between the two is just, it's so vast now that, you know, your team might be in and doing all the right things now, but what happens in the next 4 years? The next guy comes in and signs a whole lot of things that changes what the last guy did. Might sound a little pessimistic, but that's literally where we are right now. I mean, the degeneracy thing has always been around in some form. It's just now pushed to the forefront because of, well, social media technology. You know, we can, I mean, what's available to kids now online is, I mean, it's clearly disgusting, but it's very sad. Very, very sad state. mean, and let me tell you, when I was a kid, I made horrible decisions. I mean, I'm embarrassed with a lot of things and behaviors I had as a young child, guys. Definitely, a lot of them I'll never discuss. But you know, and kids go through, you know, depending on the generation at the time. You know, every adult complains about the current generation of child. You know, in the '60s, you know, folks complained about what was happening, what the generation was doing in the '70s and the '80s. Is the kids are always up to something, and they've always been up to something since the beginning of time. That's what kids do. But you know, technology has definitely sped the process up. That's the issue. You know, this degeneracy has been around since the beginning of times, but the ability to push it around in 2 seconds in mass is the game changer, right? Wow. Everything will cycle, going back to God, country, family is paramount. You're on the ball there, Nanya. Yeah. In the end, it's always boils down to the same two things, you know, good versus evil. Again, I'm definitely not your guy to get too deep into that topic. But yeah, Nanya, I agree with you. Juice Master, the AI thing seems like if the good side wins, it'll be amazing. But if the bad side wins, it'll be dark. Guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see. There's no doubt things can be used for good or bad. And like you say, I guess we'll see which side's adopted. But if we go back and look at history, if the bad can utilize something, it's going to, and the battle will be on again. I try not to get too wrapped up in the possibilities, guys, because again, in the end, it's always the same battle, and it has been since the beginning of time. If we boil it down to basics, it's always the same two things. But it's easy to get fixated on what's going on. You know, again, each to their own. But I would say take caution in spending too much time in focusing on social media or what the latest thing is today. It can be quite soul destroying. It can take a lot of positive energy you could be putting in other directions. It can suck a lot of that positive energy if you're hyper focused on every single evil that's new today. The social media and the availability of information has just been detrimental to taking too much in. Yeah, I firmly believe that there is such a thing as taking too much in. And that's the downside of technology. Now, the human brain can only develop in a certain way at a certain speed, and you have technology over here, which is, I mean, it's doubling and quadrupling the speed at which it develops. So the human brain can't really keep in line with the way technology is moving. So there's a disparity there, and it's impossible. I think it's unhealthy to try and keep up with what's always going on. And it's one of the reasons why I turn off notifications on my phone. Again, I'm not a guy who spends a lot of time on my phone or on social media. I really limit my time. But when you're getting these bombastic notifications all the time and trying to tackle it all, it's just not a good, healthy space to be in. The human mind is not doing too well with the amount of information. I mean, it's self-evident. I mean, the amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars that advertisers and marketeers put into figuring you, the consumer, out is way more than you will ever be able to put into how to avoid marketeers and advertisers. They have spent billions on whether it be scientific approaches on how to get you to spend money, psychology, people who study how people interact with products, where the eyes move in the store. I was involved in retail for a very short time in sort of marketing, and the amount of money that retailers, companies spend on just watching your behavior when you walk in a store. It's all figured out. Where do people typically move first? Where do the eyes? There's software being sold to retailers that tracks the eye movement of customers when they walk in a store. And then it looks at the data and it figures out where are people looking, what shelves do they typically move to, and where are their eyes being averted to. Those are where you want to put your primary products. I mean, they've got it down to science, guys. So you really have to be, or think outside the box and be pretty militant to avoid it. Like the little red dots that appear on your phone on every app, you know, when you've got a notification, that little red dot. It's kind of, it's just a little red dot. But the vast amount of people, when they see that little red dot on that icon or that app, there's a compulsion to take care of that. You've got to look at that notification so the red dot goes away. I mean, there's a lot of psychology in just putting something innocuous like that they know eventually it'll draw their attention, and then it'll become addictive to always check it so you can get it to go away. Then there'll be a new one and you check it and it goes away. So a lot of nefarious stuff going on. You are the product. Wow. I'm surprised I haven't scared everybody away yet. Trades are desperately understaffed right now. Yeah, well, you know, kids don't want to do trades. They want to become a basketball star or a social media influencer. Sure, it takes tech people to make that stuff work, but HVAC, plumbers, mechanics, make it all work. We are the very, very understaffed. Yeah, I agree. Without HVAC, AI doesn't exist. Hey, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a need for people moving their hands and having knowledge up here transmit to the hands. I'm not talking about typing on a keyboard. It's just, yeah. The trades is where it's going to be at. If you got a kid right now and you're like, your kid's like, I want to be a programmer. You might just want to point out that very few people are writing code anymore. I mean, you still, yeah, I'm sticking to that. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. What, Ranger? You need to go? You want to go outside? You're just going to whine. I think he wants to go outside again. Okay, letting the dog out again. Come on, buddy. You want to go outside? Okay. Where we at? Tomahawk smartphones are built like using slot machines. Yeah. The sliding, they say, mimics the slot handle being pulled. HVAC is where it's at. I'd steer my kid right now, yeah. That's true. There's these very subtle things that kind of hit the dopamine, you know, requirements. Even like the endless scrolling thing. I mean, endless scrolling, just, wow, more. It's not like you got to wait for, we moved away from pages loading. You know, you load a page for somebody, like you might just lose them. You want to just keep them infinite scrolling. Yeah, so just, I mean, let's get them intravenously hooked up to, you know, spending money. Jim, I still got a flip phone. Not into slot machines, huh? Hey, Jim, you know, I did switch to a flip phone a few years back after having a smartphone. I actually went without a smartphone for 4 years. I decided that I just had enough, and I dumped it and had no phone for 4 years. That was when I was building my cabin, the log home, and let me tell you, it was a nice time. not so nice in other ways, but it had nothing to do with the phone. But a flip phone, I mean, I've pondered it recently as the way to go. I actually don't even have I don't have a cell phone contract right now, guys. It's one of the things that went away when the funds, I had to make some decisions on where I was spending my money. So I don't have if I don't have Wi-Fi now, like an internet, free internet connection, I don't have a phone. I use a VoIP number, a voice over IP number, and I don't. I think even I'm not sure if I'd get a cell plan again. The only time I think, man, having a cell phone now would be nice is when I'm driving. You know, we do long drives out here. If I'm driving to church, it's been a while, I'll admit, but there's quite a bit of distance between me and church. And if I broke down, you know, it's in that case it's nice having a phone. But I just develop I tell the other person on the other end I'm on my way, I'm leaving, and if I'm not there by this time, there's a problem. That's my workaround, not having a phone and breaking down. Yeah, it's all about workarounds, guys. Yeah. None in your business, Jim. Where are they still available? The phones. I've actually seen flip phones on Amazon. I believe when I was looking and considering getting back into flip phone, there's 1 or 2 manufacturers that are still building flip phones. Jim, sure they are called basic phones. Okay. Chris James, Juice Master, Nature, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, I know guys in the trades that make a ridiculous amount of money. By ridiculous, I mean good. Good. That's good that you're making good money. AI is not going to be able to weld. Like I say, they're not fixing a clogged toilet. They're not installing electrical wires in a new house. There's so many things that the trades are the new jobs. Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put it one more time in, guys. I'm gonna shill one more time if anybody can help out. I've just put a link in chat. If you're at all in a position to help out here and to support what I'm doing here, please, I'd like to encourage you to do so. Hopefully in spring, yeah, I can pick up some gainful employment. I am kind of dependent on, you know, what I'm doing on YouTube right now. So I got 5 days, and it'll be Starlink payment time, and right now I'm a little concerned whether I can make it or not. So for some reason, guys, next week there's absolute silence and no stream. You know what's happened. I'll figure it out eventually, but if you are inclined to help out, please do so. So there we go. Moving on. All kinds of chats tonight, folks. None your business. Did you send me a writing pad? Was that you? I'm having flashbacks now. Did you send me the writing pad? OGW Ranger and everyone have a good evening. Hey Tomahawk, thank you, mate. Really appreciate your help and the card you sent. Let's just say, yeah, Tomahawk really allowed me to buy a bunch of groceries. So, sorry, Tomahawk, I let the cat out the bag. Apologies. Thank you. Jordian, gotta go. Thanks for putting up with me, warrior. Blessings to you, good man. Gute Nacht. Gute Nacht, mein Herr. Have a good one. We'll see you maybe next Saturday, if I still have internet service. Thanks, Jordian. Take it easy. None your business. We'll send you regular in the mail, not me on writing pads. Okay. Thank you. None your business. Yeah, last winter I did put out, hey, if anybody wants to write old-fashioned letters to me, please do so. And I did get some letters. and a few of them were in cursive. So I remember yours. Actually, None Your Business, I think I only received 2, so you're definitely one of them. Jason D, nice work. Tomahawk, yeah. Thank you, guys. There's a couple guys in chat that have definitely helped me out, and you know who you are, so thank you. Whispering Vine Studios, and gals that have helped out. Whispering Vine Studios, good night all. Have a good week. Hey, Whispering Vines, thank you very much. And if anybody's looking for some custom jewelry, just hint, hint. You want some custom jewelry made up, you can, you know, there's a Whispering Vine studio that can put together some pretty interesting stuff. You got any even animal teeth? Some was that an elk tooth I saw you working on, or on one of your I don't know if you wanted me to share this, but yeah, Whispering Vines make some cool jewelry, guys. So, and other stuff. Check her out. Kipster, when you get a chance, Google Honda CT100 so you can see what it is. Well, dude, no, mental notes. Off-grid senior citizen making a mental note. Honda CT100. I'll check into that. Oh, now you just threw me a curveball, Kipster. 110. Okay, Honda CT110 will do. I like Honda, but Honda tends to make good motors, but they're also not the cheapest typically. Whispering Vine Studio, thanks OGW. Yes, I do elk ivory. Okay, yes. I saw a little clip, I think it was on Instagram, with Whispering Vine Studio doing some work with some elk ivory. Yeah, that was it. Thank you for clearing that up. So you guys got some nice stuff you want made into jewelry, Whispering Vine Studio. Kipster having a senior moment. You see, that's where, if you want to have a senior citizen moment, guys, this is where you come. This is the channel for that. Hang on, guys, I got a dog I gotta let in. Come on in, you maniac. Nah. You gonna get up here on your blanket? Sit. Okay. Well, it seems like we've been going a while here. It's 9 p.m. here. How's everybody doing here? Yeah, guys, we've got to make this senior citizen joke stuff go away. Right? I'm going to be holding what is it, Family Plan responsible for even bringing that up. We don't want that becoming a trend on this channel, sir. All right. Don't make me ban you guys if you mention that again. Yeah, I might have to shave my beard here too, you know, if I'm going to be doing working with the civilians again, being in the civilian world, I might have to shave. And well, summer can be a little unpleasant for a beard like this as well, so you might just see me looking you know, all studly again. Yeah. Old man ramblings on the mountain. Jim, come on, man. Ay. Really? Old man ramblings. Ay. None Your Business. Senior citizen moment. Synapse lapse. I think I may have mentioned this a few streams ago, but back in the day when I first started on YouTube, and I gained some momentum, I got a little caught up in the whole watching analytics, you know, looking at demographics, where the traffic was coming from. I also had a website, and being a bit of a techie guy back then, not so much now, I would watch analytics on the website and my YouTube videos, and I'd see where the traffic's coming from. But one of the stats you can kind of look up is you know, demographics, age groups that are watching your content. And it's one of the reasons why I moved away from YouTube and just kind of, I needed a break and just gave it up, because I was getting a little too fixated on things like keyword and so on, and analytics. So when you start thinking about how can I do videos that will appeal to my demographic, or what's the correct keyword to use, it kind of took a little bit of the genuineness out of it for me. So anyways, I'm going off on a tangent, but back to demographics and age groups. I remember the age group I used to appeal to in sort of my mid YouTube years was kind of a 20 to 30 was my peak demographic. And then I'll admit, I recently looked at analytics again and demographics, just briefly, guys. And let's just say my demographic now is definitely more in the 40 to 60 group. So things are changing. Oh yeah, Jason D. When a man shaves a beard, they look a few years younger. Yeah. Well, that's not why I'll be shaving mine. But you know, if I'm going to be showing up for a job interview, I don't know. I might have to be a little beardless. Definitely going to buy the hair dye as well, guys. I think I'm going to go blonde and beardless. I might get some contact lenses just so I can get back in the game, guys. Yeah, that's how I roll around. Yeah, I'm hyper concerned about perception. Obviously. Okay, Juice Master. Having missed the first part of the stream, was it colder than poop the last few days? Juice Master, we've had a real roly-poly here with temps. I've had single digits, and then we had back up into the 30s, 20s. It's kind of been all over the place. We haven't really had frigid weather for multiple days. And I'm talking about like 4, 5, 6, 7 days of sub-zero, really cold stuff. It's had these dips and then up again. So I think we're on an upper again, and maybe less snow, which isn't ideal for me right now. Because if I can't get a pickup truck up here and I can't use my snowmobile, if you think you guys are seeing a lot of footage of me hauling stuff up now, it'll be much worse if we don't get snow. Anyways. Yeah, family plan. Lean into it when you cut the hair. Just for men, jet plan. Family plan. You're stirring tonight. Yeah. Jason D. Lol. Jason D. Blonde? No. Got to hang on to my Aryan genes with the blonde hair and the blue contacts. Yeah, I can do jet black. No, it's not anything I'm going to do, guys. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, all right? Let's not start any rumors up here. Okay. What other topics we are going here, guys? Or are we going to start winding down? You let me know. Actually, on that note, just give me a minute here, guys. I'll be back. Create a topic or not. I'll be back. I should have just put the camera on Ranger over here. Buddy, you're not on your blankets. Move. I leave and he gets off his blanket and he's got to sit in my spot. Buddy, come on. Things I have to deal with up here, guys. Really, I don't, it's very easy up here. I have what I call princess problems. You know, luxury issues. There's no real problems up here. Yeah, where did I have to go? Let's just call it a senior citizen moment, guys, right? Where are we? How long has everybody been following this warrior? How long has everybody been following this warrior? No, that's not for me. That's for you guys. Would you like a pig? More chickens? I've actually thought about pig. If I'm going to go pig, it would probably be something on the small breed heritage. I don't know if you get small heritage. I've seen this little pig. I think it's called is it an American guinea hog? I could be wrong on that. So I believe it's a hairy, it's not like a pink pig. It's like a heritage breed, so it has dark hair and they're small. But apparently if you feed it well, it can for a small hog, guinea hog, it does put on quite a bit of meat. So I would want to go something small like that, and definitely a heritage breed. It's all fun and games having critters, guys, but it's another thing feeding them. So, especially through winter. I mean, it wasn't long ago, a month or so ago, I was a little panicked about feeding my quail, whether I could buy more quail food. So, again, guys, if you're following, if you want to know how it is to be off grid and be like a millionaire, I'm clearly not your guy. I'm the off grid on no to little budget guy. All right. I'm sure you can find some couples out there that have every single toy under the sun that are doing the off grid thing, but yeah. Every decision I make is whether I can, based on whether I can afford this new idea of mine long term. But I think a hog would be nice, and probably before I went hog, I'd probably consider goats. I like the idea of these small pygmy goats and milking pygmy goat. That way, we get some milk out of it, because I'm a guy, I like my milk. Then again, I've heard that you really need a couple of goats. They need company. So it gets complicated. Jason D, been following you since the cabin build on the land that was a little steep. Oh, Jason, that's a while. Yep, a few years at least. I think I started on YouTube 11 years ago. And I have shared this before, but I was just doing it for fun. Back in those days, I had no idea you could even make any money on YouTube. And for the first I think the first couple years or 3 years, I was just posting videos. I didn't know anything about analytics or even monetizing channels. And then one day, somebody in the family circle said to me, "Hey, you've got quite a few subscribers on your channel." And I was like, "Really? What is it?" And they said, "Well, you got 30,000 subscribers." And I'd really not even been paying attention to things like that. So that was the first time I thought, wow, I'm just some weirdo holding a shack out here, doing silly stuff. And there's people wanting to watch. So it was really by accident. I just really want to get videos out and show folks that there's an alternative to, living in a city or a town, just, living in the box, doing the same thing over and over again, being the slave. I've called it the hamster wheel trick, just a little hamster spinning in your wheel there. I mean, it feels like you're doing 100 miles an hour, but you're actually going nowhere. And so I was just sharing videos to show that, hey, there's something else you guys can do that are living in a city. If it feels unnatural to you, and you're sort of unhappy with something, but you don't know what it is, well, chances are you need to get out of that concrete jungle and do something different. So that was my perspective back in the day. It was never about monetizing, and it was only after I heard that I had 30,000 people, and then I looked into it and realized there's something I could turn on to monetize the channel. That's when I did that. So and like I suggested earlier on, there was a time frame there where I started thinking too much about, like, how can I make money? And I'll be honest with you, it's at that point where it started not being as fun doing videos. So, yeah. Where are we? Blup, blup, blup. More chickens. Kipster, more chickens. I think I'm pretty happy with what I have here. I mean, when I had 2 chickens and they were, dropping eggs, 2 chickens and 1 man, that sounds weird. 2 chickens and 1 man is fine. There's only so many eggs you can eat. So right now, I have 5, and when they start laying, it's going to be a lot of eggs to be eating. One could get into like, well, you can eat your chickens too. You've got to have a good breeding program in place to, breed birds. I know that sounds crazy. Some of you don't have chickens, but so many of the chickens nowadays you get from hatcheries, the hens don't sit on their eggs. It's been almost bred, well, it's been bred out of them. And so chickens will lay, modern chickens today, for the most part, they'll lay an egg, but they'll never sit on it and bring it to hatch. It's only rarely that if you manage to get a generation or 2, that instinct to sit on an egg will come back. But it takes a few years, and you may have to mix and match and get some chickens from some other folks. There are some breeds like bantams, the small chickens, that will, quite often they will want to sit on eggs. I've had bantam chickens, the miniature chickens, sit on the large chickens' eggs and actually bring them to hatch. So they begin to think they're the parents, and then these little chicks that are from bigger chickens start following the bantam, thinking that that's their parents. So there's ways to encourage it, but most hens you get from a hatchery nowadays, it's very hard to get them to sit on an egg and breed. And for a guy like me who doesn't have power, the hatching or having an incubator to hatch quail or chickens, I don't have that option. I can't hatch chicks using an incubator. It's not a reality. So, and it's if you think it's difficult to get a chicken to become broody, it's even more difficult to encourage quails to become broody. Most people breeding quails for quail meat have incubators. Okay, where are we? Black Hills, South Dakota. Where are you all from? Oh, none of your business is from Black Hills, South Dakota. Wow, you're out. Is it the Black Hills considered the Badlands? I drove through. I was driving from the East Coast to Montana, went through the Dakotas on the main highway. Was it 90? Might have it confused. It was a good many years ago, and I remember driving through North Dakota on one side and looking at nothing. I looked out there, and as far as I could see, it was just flat nothingness. So, man, what do people do out here? I'm a tree guy. I need some trees, but I can't speak for southern, the southern areas, regions. But I tell you, the little bit that I saw of North Dakota was, wow. Nothing. We literally had the tumbleweed. It was windy, and I saw tumbleweed flying across the flatlands and jumping over the highway fence, and there was tumbleweed just rolling across the highway and nothing else. Raise rabbits. Yes, Jim. Actually, if I'm going to try something next, it's going to be rabbits. I almost had my hand on some rabbits. That plan didn't happen the way I thought it would. But if I can get my hands on some good meat rabbits, that'll probably be the next logical step. Definitely want to give it a try. I mean, I've eaten rabbit, but I've never bred them myself. Family plan, Nanya, are you in Rocky Raccoon? You nearby Rocky Raccoon? Okay, I'm not sure where that is. Nanya business message redacted. Okay, mute. 3 hours. Hey, mute. Welcome. So you've missed a lot of action tonight. Just kidding. Mainly we've been talking about old people, dyeing your hair when you start getting gray, and I've been called off-grid senior citizen. I banned that person, so you're fine. Kipster, it seems like some YouTubers are making a lot of money. How are they doing that? Well, Kipster, there is no easy money in YouTube, contrary to what people think. There are certain formulas you need to follow. You need to be extremely consistent, and you need to put out good quality stuff on a regular basis. I won't get too much into this, but there's certain people and certain topics that are pushed more than others, and there are certain topics that if you're covering it, you'll be pushed down and not even seen. YouTube has become very smart at who's promoted or what bubbles up to the top, and you really need to be focused on that sort of stuff, and like I've discussed, analytics and looking at that stuff to drive yourself and your channel. You have to get serious about it and be consistent. So when you monetize a channel, you obviously can earn money from YouTube. So the advertiser pays YouTube for getting time on your video, and then YouTube gives you a cut or revenue share of that. And of course, if you're going to be, a degenerate and okay, I'm not going to go there. But there's certain stuff that bubbles up to the top that gets you in the door much quicker. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that made sense, Kipster. I don't know if there's more you want to know. Chris James, rabbits are great livestock for food, great feed to meat ratio. Yeah, Chris, you're right. The only thing about rabbit is it is really low in fats. It's extremely lean animal. So you're getting 0 to no fats from an animal. That's why bacon wrapped rabbit is the way to go. Rabbit meat in itself too isn't super tasty. I mean, it's not bad, but rabbit meat is one of those meats. It all depends on what you do in the sauce, or what other ingredients are in there to make it tasty. But you're right about feed to meat ratio is good, and they require a very small space as well. I might I think when the quail disappear, when I'm done with the quail experiments, the failed quail experiment, that will be an excellent space for rabbits, a little rabbitry. So we shall see. Mute, lol, are you gonna seek work when the weather gets better? Mute, vids, that is. Vids, that is. So I do need to make bring in some revenue in the spring months if I can get work out there. It's a little tough right now. If I don't have a working vehicle, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to meet any work expectations anywhere. I mean, clearly, as you guys know, I need to drive decent distances to get any kind of work, and it needs to be good work in order to just in fuel alone. Fuel costs for me driving multiple hours to work and back. I mean, it needs to be a decent paying job for me to be able to afford to drive there and back on a regular basis. So not even having a vehicle is a little bit of a concern right now. There's a lot of prayer going on right now, guys. I mean, no vehicle, how can I even find a job? I have something, like I said, on the horizon that's fairly close. I mean, I couldn't find work closer, but it's no guarantee yet. Worst case scenario, if I don't have a vehicle, I could ride my bicycle there. I know you guys are going to laugh now, but it would be a 12-mile ride. So I'm kind of, if I get this thing, I can get on my bicycle, I can ride 12 miles and then ride 12 miles back. It's going to be a lot of uphill. Let's just say I'm going to have, if I get this job, I'm going to have incredible calves and, you know, and thighs and hamstrings. That's if I don't have a vehicle yet. I know, crazy. I should be more worried, guys, but for some reason I'm not. But as far as making more videos, you know, that's really what I want to push right now. You know, if I could somehow just, you know, do this and tick by. I'm not doing this for the money, you know, to become rich. But if I could just stay here and do stuff and, you know, make a little living, that's fine. My days of pursuing money, big money, it's just not a drive for me anymore. I'm more interested in about quality of life and just going into each day being in a state of contentment. I don't know, did that make sense, guys? Tell me if that didn't make sense. I think, you know, I do a lot of talking to myself and my dog and my chickens. Sometimes I wonder maybe I'm not making sense talking to actual human beings, but hopefully that made sense. Little Griff of Cruel Alberta. Hey, good evening, sir. Where have you been all night? Good evening, Mr. Warrior. Me 3 eggs omelet for supper tonight. That sounds good. 3 eggs. I found my golden, you know, I'm like a 4-egg guy. But egg omelet for dinner, that sounds like a good dinner. I actually haven't eaten tonight, guys. What did I eat today? Did I even eat today? Yeah, today I ate just before lunchtime. I had some of the previous night's meal, which I just heated up. A small little pot of ground beef and some pasta. And I'm getting pretty hungry now that you're talking about food. Guys, let's not talk about food, all right? I'm all of a sudden very hungry. But so tonight we still got to make something after the stream. Where were we? Little Griff. Yeah, welcome, sir. How's things going up there? What are your temperatures, sir? Like I mentioned last week, guys, if another guy you perhaps want to tune into, Little Griff, Off-Grid Alberta. That name's too long for me, sir. He also has a channel on YouTube. Yeah, just a guy out there, you know, making it happen, doing his thing. So if you're at all interested in this off-grid stuff, check him out. None your business. You have come a long way from humble beginnings 1 year ago. Hope you see an abundance and blessings in the years to come. Yeah, thank you, Nanya. I appreciate that. You know, I'm just... Priorities have changed for me right now. 20 years ago, if I was in this situation, I'd be fretting. I'd be a little bit of a wreck. No, not a wreck, but I'd be fretting a lot more. But I'm able just to take one day at a time, and to, even when things might look a little sketchy, I just look at what I do have. I look outside my window. I take a deep breath of fresh air and go, it could be way worse. And it's taken me many years many years of maturity, you know, maturity, guys, to get here. So thank you. Yeah, Chris James, the 12-mile back is the kicker. Yeah, I don't know. I've done some crazier stuff. So if I can just get a couple of weeks of maybe income in, perhaps I can solve, you know, get the van to somewhere that can fix it. Tell me what it is and fix it while I ride my bicycle. None your business. Patience, persistence, perseverance, you will prevail. Yeah. Nothing I do, you know, not to get into the, you know, I know not everybody's into the religious thing here, but the God thing. But if it wasn't for my acceptance or reliance on a higher power other than myself, I wouldn't be able to endure like I do. You know, things can get pretty grisly out here and be not ideal, but I can still laugh about it not just with you guys, but to myself at the moment. And that's not just me. It's a higher power allowing me just to accept the moment for what it is. Well, we've covered a lot here, guys, and I'm definitely feeling hungry now. So. Range is extremely comfortable. Okay, guys, I think we might just call it a night right now. Otherwise, I'm going to be eating at midnight. So, anybody's got anything to say? Any comments? We're gonna start winding down now. I'll give you the sign. Hey, guys. It's been good. Been good, but I got getting hungry. You don't want to see me hungry, guys. So I think we've covered quite a bit. Family plan comes in with the save at the end. Good night, OGW. Get some grub. Yeah, I will do. Will do, sir. Thank you, family plan. Okay. Let's not talk about any senior citizen stuff from you again. Chris James, nice to hang out with you. Good evening. God bless. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Who else is up there? Little Griff, man, you have a roof over your head. Very much like me, but I have to buy my eggs. Sir, buying eggs? Surprised you don't have your own. There is a downside to having critters, guys, and that's something a lot of people. This whole thing might look a little cutesy and having critters and having your own food, but it really does tie you to the property and where you're at. I can add a push, maybe leave for a night or two, and I've done that. I've actually been gone for 3 days. I wouldn't do that during winter. There's no ways I can't leave my chickens for, everything is frozen out here. Their water will be frozen. In spring, because I can keep a lot of water in a water drinker for them and stock up their food, they're good for 4 or 5 days. It's another reason why I built the coop like I did, like a Fort Knox. But there's no getting away. If you have critters that need to be watered every day, you have to be around. So I've met people over the years that have lived off grid for many years, and they get to a point where they don't want critters because it locks them down to having to be there all the time. So that is a downside to having critters. Well, messed up the chat here. Where are we? Yeah, have a great evening. Okay, guys. Thank you, everybody who's hung out tonight and chat. I really appreciate this. Like I say, it's I can't do this if there's no interaction, so I do depend on you guys to show up and chat. I'm not that much of a pro where I can just talk for hours on end. Actually, if you knew me in real life, you'll know that I'm not really a big talker. Yeah. Okay, guys. Natal, have a good night. Nice chat. Okay, guys. Keep on saying okay. We're done. But here I am again. So I'm definitely calling it now, folks. Thanks for hanging out. We'll attempt to do the same thing next week, same time, and that's if I have internet, guys. I'll be on. So none your business. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the good chat, Nanya. Chris James, not a talker, but went on for 3 hours. Lol. Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you met me in real life, you'd. Yeah. I small. I'm kind of small, bite-sized. Chris James, good night. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm calling it. Hungry. I'm definitely hungry now. So we're gonna stop the stream and say